Welcome back. Well, right now we have a guest with us, Adriana Gombaseff, and she is with, now I'm going to pronounce the whole thing because you saw the abbreviation there. It is called the Center for Information and Study on Clinical Research Participation. The main thing you need to know, it's called Aware for All, and it's about participating in clinical trials and such. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
So tell me about what Aware for All is and the importance about clinical trials. We hear about these quite often. Sometimes we see them on TV. There's an advertisement. They might say, if you use this certain type of thing, maybe you would like to try this, and there's a clinical trial and all kinds of things, right?
Yes, so one of the greatest barriers for clinical research is getting enough participants. So what Aware for All does is they educate and empower the public about the importance of making the decision to participate in clinical research.
So are you folks sort of, for lack of a better term, sort of a clearinghouse, meaning that people can go to this website and see what's out there rather than trying to search out different things on their own? Is that kind of what it is?
I believe they do have some of those options. So I work with UC Irvine, where we partner with the institute, and we are one of the participants. So Dr. Grill from UCI Mind will be one of the panelists.
It's a great, that is just a great organization there.
Yes. And I think this community has heard of UCI Mind, so we're definitely happy
many times
to participate.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So talking about the importance of this, and we can be talking about a new type of drug, a new type of maybe implant device or whatever it may be, and the importance of this is how new procedures and medications come out.
Yes.
It can take maybe up to 10 years for certain things, right?
Yes.
And without participants, once it gets from the laboratory level, you have to have real people do this.
Right.
It would never get off the ground, right?
Correct. All the drugs currently out in the market, any devices, the reasons we do certain screenings are all because of clinical trials. So it's important that we have those to show what works and sometimes what doesn't. Even an unsuccessful clinical trial can help us answer important questions. And
in many cases, people who want to participate, the first step is to see if they are the right candidate, right?
Correct. There's different screening criteria that require for different clinical trials. So sometimes taking a medication can exclude you from participating. So it's important that we can advertise lots of different clinical trials to see if you would like to participate, that you can. Yeah, and another side thing to that is quite often it may be the same medication, but how it's administered, different doses. It might be an injection, might be a pill, correct? Correct, yes. We can look at different ways of taking the same medication to see what works best.
Now, as far as people participating in this, often you will hear that there might be a stipend to do this. They may offer transportation. And in the long run, they may, once the procedure, the medication, whatever it might be, goes into effect, they may be eligible to get this over several years at no cost, right? So there's all kinds of advantages.
Yes, there definitely is. Sometimes, if it is a clinical trial, you could end up with a placebo, meaning you don't get the actual drug. But the advantage of that is at the end of the trial, sometimes you do get the option to get it ahead of schedule or in a better way than somebody that hasn't participated.
So how does one go about getting on one of these trials? Let's say they're just taking, hypothetically, some heart medication, and it's being prescribed, obviously, by their doctor, and they're under medical supervision. Do they find out about these on your website, through their doctor? Maybe they see an ad in a magazine. How do they go about that?
That's a great question. Right now, there's so many different ways to find out about clinical research. You can find out from your doctor. But what we are trying to do with UCI Mind at UC Irvine, we have launched a registry called C2C Consent to Contact, where you can enroll just by entering your name and email, and that way you will be contacted, if you choose to, about possible clinical trials that are ongoing to see if you would like to participate.
Okay, and that's a great program. We've had folks on from that before, and I think it deals in many cases with dementia and Alzheimer's and all kinds of things, right?
So yes, anybody over the age of 18 can enroll on the registry.
Oh, over the age of 18, wow.
But to be in a, for example, for certain Alzheimer's studies, you would have to be 65 or over 55, depending on it. But this registry is open for any type of research.
That's fantastic. So your website, even though that's a really long name, all you have to remember is Aware for All. It's awareforall.org, am I right?
Correct.
And from there, they can get some basic information. But if they see something that might interest them, they need to check with their own physician.
Care provider, correct.
And they have to find out, is it okay if I do this, if it'll work for me? So your physician may turn around and go, you know what, this is not appropriate for you.
And that's why it's important that we have this event on November 1st with Aware for All, because we do provide information about different things that you want to talk to your physician about to see if you would like to participate in clinical research.
Right. And if I'm not mistaken, that's going on at Clubhouse 5, I believe. Let me see. But I know it's on November 1st. And
10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Yeah. And for more, do they need to register? Because what I have here is there is a registration phone number, or they can go online. I've got that awareforall.org, and that's where you would go. Can they just show up, or is it better to register?
I think it is better to register, but I don't think we will turn anybody away if they come to the event.
All right. That's going to be fantastic. And, you know, as Adriana was saying, these are important studies, and it's really how new procedures, new medication and all get out there. Without your participation, a lot of them would never happen. And as we talked about, you may be compensated. There may be some kind of benefit for you, but it is important. I think it's a great way to go and to find out more information. So again, awareforall.org. And I want to thank you very much for coming on. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you so much.
And we will be right back.